Alan, you like to go out, have a couple beers, get a little saucy, have big fun at the bar, and then get in your car and hit the cruise control on the highway. Bring it on in. Come on. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Tammy. This is Tammy Talks. We are here to talk Married at First Sight Season 18, Episode 11. She said he fled, all right? Before we even get started, shout out to everybody, all 25,000 plus of y'all that tuned in to watch last week's episode. We had a time, didn't we? We have fun. Now, this is what I need y'all to do. If y'all are back from last week, okay, and you still are not yet subscribed, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, thumbs up the video. As always, leave your comments down below. Thank you to everybody that tuned in last week. Shout out to all of y'all that caught me over on Roxy Says channel, where we did a live on Saturday, and we talked about all things Married at First Sight from season 18, episodes 1 through 10. So if you have not yet checked that out, go ahead, watch it on Roxy Says channel, subscribe to her and all that good stuff. Subscribe here. If you're here and you're not subscribed, here we go. It's on the screen for you. All right, let's go ahead and get into the episode. So, not as chaotic this week. I welcome the slower pace, okay? So the episode starts off with David, him, and his control. So they're walking on sunshine to the gym, just happy, and the sky is blue, and the birds are chirping, and life is just great. I know that's right. Life was awesome. Okay, David? We then see Emon waking up alone and said, I called Echi. Girl, why? Emon, don't get me upset, sis. Why you call him? He walked out on you. But she said she called him and she was shocked he didn't answer, and it's given, but did you expect him to answer, Emma? I don't know. I didn't expect him to answer. So we see Carla. Carla is sitting on the floor ready to get a nasty old sound bath going when there's a knock at the door. It's her sister. So her sister comes in and she's talking to Carla about what's been going on lately. And, you know, after Carla got fired, she is now a kitchen beautician, okay? So Carla said that she woke up this morning because she had nothing else to do. And she decided to reflect on her relationship with, who's she with? With Juan. So she wanted to reflect on her relationship with Juan. And while reflecting on this relationship with Juan, she has figured out that they are just different people, you know, and that sometimes she wants to feel wanted and desired. And, you know, while she was thinking of that, she's come to the realization that we're different, you know. I don't make plans. I don't have outlines. I don't write anything down. But Juan does. And so maybe, I mean, I don't know, maybe I should start to think that way too. I said, please, Carla, you are not this naive. You are not this green. You are not this dense, sis. You are not. You ain't had nothing but time, space, and opportunity this morning to think about the direction or lack thereof of your life. If you want to be a kitchen beautician, that is fine, sis. We have all been to a kitchen beautician once or twice before in our life. We appreciate those of y'all. But at the same time, Carla, you're the woman that quit your job. Okay? You quit your job, so you have to understand why Juan is going to have questions and all that type of stuff. But so shall it be. So we then see Echi. Y'all know what time it is with him. We then see Echi, okay? So he's meeting up with Pastor Cal. And why are they sitting at that little children's table? I said, oh my God, what in the kindergarten ass bar is this? They knees were taller than the table. I said, well, y'all look uncomfortable. Whatever. So Pastor Cal got right to it and said, why you move out, nigga? Was good. That's what I get for talking crazy. I feel like that's what Pastor Cal wanted to say. But Pastor Cal is like, what happened? Why did you move out? So Echi said that he didn't feel comfortable in his house and he did not like coming home to his wife. Or he didn't feel like he was coming home to his wife. Echi then went on to say that she was asking him to shower with him 2 days into the honeymoon. and she was talking about like 3 to 4 days into it, like, would you want to move in with me after they had just met? And he was like, who thinks like that? People that come on Married at First Sight, fool. People who thinks about getting married to a stranger? This is what I don't understand about Ikechi. You think it is crazy, right? It is just besides you. Your flabber was gasted, okay? That she is wanting to talk about the future, and you think that's so crazy and that's so unreasonable. And why would she be asking that? I just met her. You also decided to marry a stranger. It kills me on this show when people come on here and they want to marry a stranger, sight unseen at that, right? Sight unseen. You are okay signing on the dotted line to sign your life away, sometimes depending on the state, your credit, your assets, your debt, to incur somebody's debt. You're okay doing that, but it is crazy to you that she wants to say, hey, if we decide to stay together, I got a dope ass spot. Would you want to move in with me? That shocked you? Okay. It's giving da 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 da. Like, what is going on? But so Ikechi feels that MM just wanted a husband and she didn't care who it was. Now, I understand what he's saying, but that is the nature of it. The fact that Emin is willing to work with anybody and find the value in anybody that she was matched with should be a testament to the type of person that she is. But for whatever reason, you don't feel that. So Pastor Cal is like, yes, fool, we encourage this, my nigga. This is what you want. The way Pastor Cal was looking like she want to shower with you. Okay. Like he used terrible examples. Ikechi, if that's your idea of her being aggressive, my God, today and tomorrow. So Ikechi goes on to say that he don't like her personality, that Emma makes him feel small, that he feels like an extra in her dream, that he has been belittled and poked at and been disrespected, and I haven't disrespected her. Because I know. Let's rewind, okay? Let's rewind. Ikechi said that he has not been disrespectful. So I was with Pastor Cow. Didn't you call her an asshole? Is that not disrespectful? Well, if you act like an asshole, I'm going to call you one. And if you act like a bitch, I'm going to call you a bitch. Right? Right? So if Emmett would have said you're acting like a little bitch, Ikechi, that would have been okay, right? Because if we call the people what we feel that they're acting like, then that should be okay. But go for it. So when Pastor Cow was like, so then Ikechi is like, okay, I guess that's disrespectful. What do you mean you guess? How are you an author? How are you an author and you don't know what words mean? Words have meanings. I say it all the time. I should have got the definition of disrespectful for Ikechi. Oh my God. So he then said that the more and more that he sees Ikechi, the more and more that he sees of Emin, the more of the real her that he sees, he don't like her. Here's the thing. If you do not like her, make today your decision day and leave her alone. Makes sense to me. So Pastor Cal believes that there is an incredibly sensitive side of Emin that Ikechi has just not brought out of her yet. So Ikechi then said, perhaps. He said that if there were noticeable changes, noticeable changes, that he could consider like regrouping with her. Pastor Cal said, look, we want y'all to talk. Even if it is not for y'all to stay together, we want y'all to talk and come to some type of resolution with one another, okay? Even if it is just for education, because people need to know how they're coming across. You need to know how you're coming across. She needs to know how she is coming across. So if we get that moving and shaking and bouncing all around, then at least we as the experts can have some solace within ourselves that we didn't completely blow this. But cool. So Ikechi is like, yes, Pastor, in a very condescending tone that Pastor Cal clocked. And Ikechi was like, no, I'm being sincere. No, you weren't. You weren't being sincere at all, but whatever. He then said, it's easier to talk to you than Emin. She's going to yell at me. She's going to ask me questions. Head ass. So we then see Madison saying that Alan planned, she's on her diary cam. Alan planned a date night to go watch a football game at the bar. Y'all know what that means. Drinks, 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 drinks. Okay. Alan decided that they get home, right? Alan decided, hey, I'm gonna go sleep at my friend's house. Who is your friend? Who's your friend? That you want to leave? You want to leave our TV home and go over to their house? Who's the friend? Madison, you're not asking the wrong questions. Drunk or not, who the fuck house you going over to this time of night? Madison is saying you done had too many drinks. I don't think you should be driving. Alan is like, I'm good. Now look. If somebody is, this is what I hate, right? And I am in Wisconsin. We are the drunkest state of all. I have never had a problem with one, giving up my keys, and I have never had a problem with taking somebody's keys, right? The fact that Alan, where were you going that you were willing to risk a DUI or a DWI or your life that you had to get there so bad? Put that on the sticky. We're going to come back to that. We then see David. He meets with Dr. Pepper, okay? David said, look, I've been taking some punches left and right on my communication, on my lifestyle. Dr. Pepper said, well, I think Michelle is acting out of fear. Michelle comes in, hey, Dr. Pepper, what's up? No, ma'am, sit down. Have a seat. So she thinks, Michelle, that they have grown quite a bit and they're making all these strides. I was with Dr. Pepper. What are the strides? Because y'all don't know each other enough to be upset with one another. What are the strides? They were like, well, our communication has grown. We talked for 20 whole minutes. We don't do that. Imagine her chagrin. 20 whole minutes. That's not even a full episode of Living Single. Imagine being excited for talking for 20 minutes. Okay. Sure. So, Dr. Pepper has David talk about challenging moments that he faced growing up. David said, well, he went to public school, and then during elementary school, he was put out of his probably very diverse or very black and brown public school and put into a predominantly white private school where he didn't fit in. It was hard. It was a struggle. He didn't understand. It's hard to tell, a 10-year-old that this is going to give you a better education, whatever the case. So he didn't understand that. The way that Michelle was looking at him like, you get to go to private school and I was poor. That's what Michelle was giving. Michelle didn't care because the moment that Michelle heard you got to go to private school, you can see her wheels turning. I was poor. I lived a simple, poor life. That's all she heard, and she didn't care, right? So Dr. Pepper is like, look, I want y'all to explore more things in each other. Talk to each other. Michelle once again talks about how she grew up poor. Girl, a lot of people did. Shit. So she says she has no memories of her parents being married because her parents divorced when she was very young. Get this though, Michelle was so embarrassed about having reduced fare lunch at school. I want to try to be as sympathetic to this as I possibly can, right? I went to both private and public school, okay? I went to a private school, a Lutheran school, from K4 up until 8th grade. I then transitioned I went to high school, went to public school. At my private school, we had to pay full price for lunch. My parents paid a part of our tuition, included us paying full price for lunch, okay? When I got to public school, because my parents were married and they both worked, we had to pay what? Say it loud, full price. I had friends that paid reduced fare. So while I am paying $1.50 for my public school ass chicken patty or mock chicken leg with 2 pieces of overcooked broccoli and a burnt ass piece of bread, my friend is paying 50 cents less. You know what I didn't think? That she was poor. You know what I didn't care? How much she paid for her lunch. You know that I didn't notice? That she had a different color badge that I had for lunch. The shit that Michelle is out here acting as if, now if Michelle would have said I got caught at the food bank or something like that, I got caught in line at the shelter getting a hot plate. Okay, sis, but you tripping over paying 50 cents less. Michelle, shut the fuck up. Because here's the thing. I don't want to take away from her experience, but the way that Michelle is going on and on and on about this, is this survivor's remorse? What is going on, Michelle? Or is this just something that you are harping on? Oh, stupid ass story. That pissed me off. And I know y'all gonna be mad about that in the comments, but to me, that is not something to still be harping on at your big age in your 30s. How old is she? 31, 32? You're still harping on having to pay reduced lunch when you were 12? Who cares? It wasn't your money. Woo! Michelle does not want to go back to struggle now as an adult. I understand that. Okay? My parents were not always big balling, okay? We had times too when we fluctuated. We were middle class, we were upper middle class. We went back and forth because shit, times are hard and kids are expensive. My parents had two that were 2.5 years apart. I understand not wanting to struggle. I understand wanting to have more money than you grew up with. I love being able to buy whatever it is that I want right now. I want a new pair of Jordans, I'll buy that shit. I want to get a new purse, I'll buy that shit. I want to get a new computer, I'll buy that shit. All these are things I bought myself for Christmas. These are all things that I did not get as a child. Not all three. Not all three in one Christmas, please. So I understand that you always want to have a better lifestyle than you grew up with. That's common sense. But Michelle needs to go to therapy to figure out why she is so stuck in that. Why you were so stuck in that, sis. Like, this is crazy. Oh my God. David says that he now understands a little bit more, whatever. Dr. Pepper asks Michelle what other worries she has about him as a husband. She tells David, I feel you were 10 years behind me, truth be told. She calls him immature, said he is not at her level. And Dr. Pepper said, well, damn, girl, get rid of the immaturity frame that you have. Immaturity, I believe, is subjective, right? Just like success is subjective. So Dr. Pepper asks David, like, what can you do to reassure her that you can provide for her and you can be the husband that she wants? David said, well, I'm hoping for a promotion. I said, nigga. David said, I'm hoping for a promotion so that I can make as much money as you. I said, oh, David. David, you about to embarrass me. David, you about to embarrass me. David then goes on to say, the savings aren't there. I said, Jesus. David. You are being Lil David, not the big one right now. Not only does she make more money than you, but you're hoping to get a promotion to get there, which is fine, right? Because we don't know what that amount is. But you don't have no savings. Where are your checks going? If not to your savings account. You live at home. I'm embarrassed, David. You don't embarrass me. You have successfully pissed me off. So then Michelle is like, when are you going to be able to, did she say buy? I think she said buy a 2-bedroom flat. Michelle, when can you buy a 2-bedroom flat? Girl, you're renting a 1-bedroom. It should be, when can we buy something together? David said 1 to 2 years. Now look, does Michelle want to flat out buy like a condo? Or would Michelle be okay if they lived in an apartment together? David, do you got your half for the rent? I am. Let's move on because I'm disappointed. Yikes. If anything turned Michelle off, if Michelle was ever done, this is it. in that moment. This conversation. That's it. So we see Alan and Madison, excuse me. Alan tells, because Alan got me pissed. They're in the car, and Alan is telling Madison he was well within his rights to drive home. I'm going to sum all this up real quick. I'm not even going to go through the he say, she say, whatever they said. Alan feels that he was not that drunk, right? He said, I know my body. I know my body. And because he knows his body, he did not feel that he was past the legal limit. He didn't feel, not he didn't know, but he didn't feel that he was past the legal limit. He said, look, it's a straight shot. You get on the freeway, you turn on that cruise control, poo. I said, nigga, you on cruise control and you're inebriated? Oh, bitch. Alan, no. Here's the thing. Madison is expressing how dangerous this is, how she feels about this, how she didn't like it, how she thinks it's irresponsible. And Alan is combating her every step of the way. Alan, do you have a drinking problem? Do we need to get you in a 12-step program? This is now the second time that we have had an instance where you had a little too much liquor and now you acting a stone cold fool because it's giving Lush. The first time was you was too drunk to wake up and come to flag football the next day, and now y'all both drove home, or maybe y'all took an Uber, and then you think it's okay to get in the car, to get your pasty ass in the car, and then drive 15 minutes away on the freeway? 15 minutes on the freeway talking about some put it on cruise control? What irritated me the most about this scene is the fact that Madison is truly expressing frustration, disappointment, whatever, and Alan is literally fighting her every step of the way. Alan, take your drunk ass on somewhere. Go sit your stupid ass down. How dare you try to rationalize that? She's telling you that she lost somebody because of drinking. I have had people in my life pass away at the hands of a drunk driver. I have friends that have had DUIs, and I laughed and pointed, and it was disappointing their asses too. You have disappointed me, Alan. I hope you're in the comments, and I hope you're watching this week. So we then see Emon. She is meeting with Dr. Pepper, and Emon said that she don't think Echi was ready for marriage, and I don't either. She said that he doesn't respond to phone calls or texts. Emon, I'm gonna say this, friend. I hope you're watching. Hey, girl. I can see, okay, and this is just no judgment, but I can see how the back-to-back texts and the back-to-back phone calls can be a lot, okay? I feel like if somebody walks out of dinner, if somebody walks out of the house, give them the space that they need. And Emon even mentioned that she gave him space. No, you gave him what you considered was enough space. Now, it's still fucky catchy forever. But Emon, we got to look inward, sis, and realize that maybe the back-to-back phone calls and the back-to-back text messages, they're not helping. Because if they didn't help prior to the blow-up at dinner, why would they help and have a different reaction after? Okay? Just tuck it in your pocket, okay? So, did I say Dr. Pepper? Dr. Pia. Dr. Pepper ain't been meeting with nobody for real. So Emon said that she definitely wants to see him because she wants to talk things out. She, however, is concerned that he'll be dismissive, nonchalant, and not interested in the marriage. Dr. Pia was all of us, girl, then why do you want to talk to him? If you claim that he's been calling you names and disrespected you and done made you cry and done embarrassed you, why do you want to see him? Emon thinks that he just hasn't realized that these are defense mechanisms for himself. I'm gonna tell you this, Emon. I'll save it for the end. So Emon said that she did call his suit ugly. That is not the same as him calling you an asshole. The fact that you are even trying to rationalize that is concerning. It's not the same. Oh my God. So Emon said this whole situation started with him not liking the questions at the house warming. He then called her aggressive. She said that he doesn't know her well enough to be calling her aggressive, and Dr. P clocked her. Well, but you don't know him well enough to be saying my man, my man, my man. And Emma was like, no, I was saying my husband because that's a fact. Now, she did say it with a little spice. Was a little spicy. And Dr. P peeped it and was like, okay, is that how you talk to him? I understand that things are a fact. I was with Dr. Pia tonight. I understand saying things as a fact, but sometimes we got to lead with emotion and not facts. I have this bad myself. I always lead with facts. My Libra scale is always out. But I do know that sometimes you have to rein it in. You have to rein it in a little bit, and you cannot always lead with facts. And that is something that Emin truly struggles with, right? So Dr. Pia said, or asked her if she is willing to meet him where he's at and be more malleable to his needs. Of course, Emin is, because she wants a husband. We get Tom and Camille. They meet with Dr. Pia, and Thug Life had his earrings on. Okay, so Thug Life got his earrings on, and they clock his earrings, and it's cute. Tom talks about what his father was like, how his father was a protector and a stern leader. Talks about how hard it's been since his father has passed away. His father was his best friend. Camille talks about how when her parents got a divorce, I guess her father just like checked out of her and her sister's life, wasn't really there for them. So Camille, being the older sister, went into a protector mode. And because of that, she had to grow up a little faster. And so she missed out on some of her childhood and all that type of stuff. They got emotional, they got vulnerable, they got deep. Good for them. We then see Carla and Wanda. This is sushi, okay? Looks like they're at one of those Korean Japanese steakhouses. That ain't the sushi tower that Michelle and David had. I know Michelle watching this episode like, now that's sushi. That is sushi. So while they're at this dinner though, Juan wants to talk about Carla's business ideas because you ain't going to be at the house doing nothing, okay? So Carla said, wait, pulls out, Carla put out a composition notebook, hollered. She said, wait, look, this is Carla's way of saying, I'm going to pick your brain. I'm going to make sure that I'm showing you that I'm into this, whatever the case. So they're just talking about like her business plan and what she wants to do. Carla wants a creative space. So she wants to be a kitchen beautician that don't have no table and chairs. She wants to just stand and cut hair because that's art to her. However it works, girl. Then she wants to do Pilates and sound baths after for people, I guess. So you get your hair cut, you get a round of Pilates, and then the sound baths. How many clients are you looking to have in a day? You doing a lot with these people, but I hope it works for you. Okay? Juan said that she should have more chairs. Don't just let it be you. Okay? Because don't you want to rent out booth space and then eventually franchise? You got to think bigger. You got to think bigger, bitch, bigger. So that's what Juan is on. Carla said, I got a website. I manage it myself. Juan was like, outsource that shit. Hire somebody. Jonathan. Shout out to Roxy. Juan, why are you trying to get her to spend more money? Don't get her to spend more money. If she can manage her website herself, let her manage her website herself. I don't understand that. So, but Juan was fucking up that sushi. I feel like every time the camera panned to him, it was with the we was putting them chopsticks to work. You hear me? So he gives her some ideas on content creating, and he said, "Look, all your free time should be dedicated to content creation." Now look, as a content creator myself that also works a 9-to-5 corporate thugging during the day, a lot of my free time is dedicated to content creation. I be outside, but when I'm not outside, I do a lot for content creation. It is basically another full-time job. There's always something to be done. There's promotion and, we're producing shows. There's literally always something to be done. So I agree. Free time should be spent to content creating, especially since you ain't got no job, Carla. Okay, girl, you better put some stuff in that notebook and work with it. So they talk about deadlines and stuff like that. All of things that I think that Carla should know just as an adult that works, but maybe she was just playing along with this for Worm. We get back over to Tom and Camille. They are folding clothes. What is going on? Why are we watching this? But okay. So they talk about how they got emotional earlier, and Camille said that she's not a big crier. She said, I cry about once a year. So Tom is like, well, it was good to see you be vulnerable, and he thinks that that is going to help with their intimacy. So Camille is like, look, I want to be better at being more open, and Tom realizes in his confessional that Camille's version of vulnerability is just not his, but as long as they're both being vulnerable the best way that they can make this thing work. Okay, we then see Alan sitting on the couch wondering what does Madison like or find attractive about him. Survey says nothing. Okay, we see Michelle. She's out with her friend shopping and has the audacity, the gall, the nerve, the temerity to want to dress David as if she be dressed as about anything. Michelle, you don't ever pull off a look. Michelle sits up there and lies and says that David wore a t-shirt on their anniversary. He did not. He wore a quarter zip, okay? Was the t-shirt underneath? Yes. But she wanted him to come in with a blazer. And I said, girl, maybe if y'all went to wherever Juan and Carla went and got they sushi, then sure. But there was nothing wrong with what David wore. But she wants to dress him. She puts him in this basic ass outfit that is a Henley. I said, oh girl, that was a Henley, some skinny jeans, and then a flannel over. What? What in the Paul Bunyan is going on here? What in the Brawny is made tough is going on here? Michelle, please play with somebody else. Then she wants him to wear jean on jean, denim, denim, denim. I said, why is he wearing so much jean? No, ma'am, absolutely not. I personally believe if you're going to do a denim on denim look, the darker denim is always on top. Michelle don't feel that way though. So she's like, I want you to look like Drake or Travis Kelce. I said, that's the light-skinned nigga that she wanted. She wants a light-skinned black man like Drake. That's what she wants. And she probably thinks Travis Kelce is black. But now that he got that little porn star shit, Taylor Swift has changed Travis Kelce. He ain't no more. But that's the type of look she's going for. So she puts David in this little basic ass burgundy blazer that was ill-fitting, if I might add myself. It looked like a linen burgundy blazer with like navy underneath. Girl, he looked a mess. He was like, I like the denim. Yes, I mean, whatever. We then see Madison and Alan. They meet up with Dr. Pepper. So Alan feels that he came in as his true, authentic self. He does not understand how he is now trying to shift and be more of what Madison wants, and he's shifting and he's shifting and he's shifting, and it doesn't work. So he's wondering, what am I fighting for? Right? Is it worth it? Dr. Pepper then asks what she sees special in him as a person. Madison said, well, I appreciate his effort. Girl, don't piss me off, Madison. That's rude. You appreciate his effort to try to please you? That's condescending as fuck. Okay. So he was like, cool, but that don't get the fire going. Then they gonna make you burn for me, right? He want that Bridgerton type of love. With the Duke, with the Duke and Daphne. He said that it's more to marriage than him being a good guy. He then said that he doesn't think that there is any level of attraction. And he said that it is, when it comes to Madison, it's natural for him to interact with, for her. Let me start it over. It is natural for Madison to interact with other girls and with David. I said, with David? Talk about something, it's easy for you to hug David. I said, hug David? What? Put it on the sticky. Put it on the sticky, y'all, because what? What is going on? Why he bring up David specifically? Okay. Y'all remember this, y'all. He brought up David specifically. Was that David's thick ass hand feeding me. Okay. All right. I'm okay with it. So he said, what's his name? Alan said that Madison struggles to be natural with him. He then asked Madison, what do you find attractive about me? She said that's a weird question to ask. Is it? Wowza. Okay. So Madison said that she's told him that he looked really great the other day. Allison said, yeah, I know, but I get it. You're not there yet. She takes offense to that, whatever. Dr. Pepper said, y'all both had rough childhoods. We find out that Alan ran up on the judge during the custody battle, and he felt that nobody cared about him and his feelings and what he wanted. Madison, we don't quite know Madison's story. We know that her mother wasn't really around, kind of checked out on her. I got the feeling that her mother suffered from alcohol abuse, but because she said that Alan, his drinking has been like a trigger. And in the moment that he decided to leave, she felt alone and scared, and she just didn't feel safe. And she was like, you see, that like you met my mom is better now. But she said her mother has said some extremely hurtful things to her in the past as a child. Probably when she was, a little saucy. So Alan said, look, if I'm doing something that doesn't make you feel safe, I will make some changes. Thomas and Camille read letters to their younger selves. It's interesting that everybody didn't get this exercise this season, but Camille said she was shy growing up. Her parents' separation brought her out of her shell. She probably had to speak for her sister a lot. Tom wants his younger self to learn proper ways to handle challenges. Camille wishes that her 10-year-old self knew things were going to be okay. Tom talks about her triggers, and Camille said that some of her trust issues come from guys doing things just to get her, just to get the draws, basically. Shout out to Merton. And she wants some reassurance from him from time to time that that's not just what he's doing, but she feels like he is being genuine. She doesn't think he's acting, and she appreciates that. Carla and Juan go to a Pilates studio. They had a cute little scene. Juan said that his superpower is making people laugh, and Carla said that her superpower is being intuitive. So is mine. Very intuitive person. She helps people find alternative ways to heal. Kudos to you, Carla. Make a paycheck out of it, sis, okay? So then we get to this. So Echi and Emon. Okay. So they're going to be meeting up with Dr. Pia and with Pastor Cal. Before they even walk in, Echi said that the wrong that he has done was a reaction to her wrongdoing. Childish as fuck, coming in with the wrong energy. In that same, might I add, that same blue jean jacket. Okay. So Emma arrives first, and she said that she is trying to come in with an open mind, an open heart, and listening ears, okay? We have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, okay? Echi comes in with that blue jean on and that kufi, very much giving fake ass Marvin Gaye realness, but whatever works for you. And he has an attitude. It's very clear that he is not very receptive to what's going on. He didn't even look at her or acknowledge her. And that upset me and my homegirls, okay? So Dr. Pia is asking for full transparency and honesty. Somebody's lying, because Dr. Pia said y'all are both giving 2 very different versions of reality, and we want to know what the real is. So Echi said, no, Emon said that the conflict started at the housewarming by calling her aggressive. Echi said that he wasn't comfortable having sex yet. Said he was trying to protect the sanctity of the relationship. He admits that he never told her that, and then it comes into he wanted to, I guess, protect her from, I guess, catching feelings, and she took it as rejection. Almost every season, whenever a man does not want to sleep with his wife, they always phrase it as, I'm doing this to protect you. The wife does not feel that she needs protecting, so this is par for the course. Pastor Cal tells them that whenever people try to control the pace of the process, it doesn't work. This is not a typical marriage. The reason that y'all are having issues is because y'all are not letting things flow naturally. Y'all are trying to control this, and that's not what this show is. This is not the average marriage. So because it's not the average marriage, you can't treat it like the average marriage, right? So Ikechi said that he came into this wanting to get to know her, and to him that is not by just asking question after question after question. He likes to just enjoy each other. I agree with that. I don't like the rapid fire questions like that either. I don't like that type of stuff because it does feel like an interrogation. I'm a person too that I feel that through basic conversation, you can learn so much more about a person. So apparently, they went to hear some live music. While they were hearing the live music, she started asking a bunch of questions. Why? Why? So then her response to that was, I had questions I wanted to ask. Now, Emmy, now I gotta look at you sideways, sis, because if y'all are out and y'all are doing this type of activity, why do you feel the need to inundate him with questions at that moment? Because if y'all would have been out there chilling, listening to the music, y'all could have talked in the car, y'all could have talked when y'all got home. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So Pastor Cal is like, look, y'all need to learn more about what the other needs, okay? Emin is science, Ikechi is art. So he's going to lead with more emotion and feelings and, feeling the vibe and all that type of stuff. And Emin is going to lead with more of practicality and rationale, logic, and facts, right? Two very different ways of communicating, two very different ways of feeling different things about themselves and about each other. So Dr. Pia said, look, if it is possible for y'all to forgive each other and move forward with more direct communication, and if y'all don't have a thorough of understanding of what the other wants, can we agree to, try this again? Excuse me, y'all. Emin immediately was like, yes, I can commit to that. Ikechi was like, I need more understanding. Ain't that what they just said, Ikechi? I can't stand when people repeat stuff back like this. But he was like, he needs more understanding and a genuine desire to see how he is. So get this. He wants her to ask him how he's doing and to ask him questions at the end of the night. I thought you didn't like questions. I thought you didn't want questions though. Wasn't it you that said you didn't want questions? You don't want to talk about it. No, you want to hear no questions. But now you want to hear questions? Okay, sure. I guess it has to be questions that he wants to be asked. I guess. It don't make sense to me, but whatever. So she was like, that's kind of hard for her because that's not how she is. And she's like, can you give me a cheat code? Can you help me out a little bit? Dr. Pia said, look, this won't work if y'all don't move back in together. Dr. Pia, are we in the room, sis? What? So Emin couldn't wait to be like, you gonna move back in? Ikechi is like, I will. But in the confessional, he is making it very clear he's not excited. He's not excited. So that was the episode, y'all. Once again, thank you to everybody that watched last week, that checked us out on the live. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video. Next week, my video will not be out until the weekend. I will be traveling. So Tuesday nights, there will be no video, probably until Saturday. So just keep that in mind. But in the meantime, still subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.